And I just don't know, it makes me think of the Giving Pledge, which is where billionaires in our country have done so well, and there have been so many in California as well, who've made many, many billions of dollars, and yet they've promised to give it all away, and yet here we are scratching together to get the litigation on No Place Like Home. We need help. We need real help. Fort County Board of Supervisors.
How many minutes?
One each.
One?
Yeah, that's public comment. I'll put the rest on public comment.
And it feels kind of like, yikes. What are we doing? Elliot Rick, item 14, here you have the CEO sits on top of that. They do a big competition to make it safe during crises, and they hand it to Motorola with all the Knabe folks in there adjusting to make sure they win. I mean, this is not fair and equitable, and we would have saved millions. I showed you on those RFPs where they were cheating, practically cheating our own city. So it's outrageous. The triathlon, Supervisor Kuehl, how can you give to Herbalife cover to do this kind of activity over and over again? Today we have a clean one, thanks to Janice Hahn. I don't know. You've got Supervisor. We've got the conflict of interest code. Well, finally we're making a small adjustment there for the CCJJ or whatever it is. We have done so much to silence many of our critics by providing a kind of a comfort. I think we have to hold the leaders in our jail accountable, and I think we have to get the sheriff who's fighting for to win, I guess, in a 50% moment. He may not get there, where I don't know if that's been announced yet. But one thing you can do is to provide the custody division manual timely so that we can make sure that the health that's being provided in these places are okay. And it's so sad to think of someone who wants to go to jail to get a place to sleep. We can do better than that. And we don't need a $4 billion jail.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon again. Joe Maeslich. Speaking on number 42, the report on youth diversion efforts by ODR and their youth diversion and development division. I'm so glad to hear the word development added in there, because that's a positive direction. It's not just we want to prevent people from falling into the patterns associated with being in the criminal justice system. I'm particularly appreciative of the whole thing, but point number 4 requested by Supervisor Barber to use the data and do some study and look into what are some of the vulnerabilities that get youth in these divisions to become involved and to need more direct diversion. There's some mention that some of them had earlier contact with the criminal justice system, and that's been harmful in some cases. But I'd like us to look even farther. Maybe some of you remember, and your assistants may, how often I mentioned the Adverse Childhood Experiences studies originated 25 years ago by a physician who wasn't looking for that, but he was doing some other research. These things are many articles on the subject at ACES2high.com. ACES2high, ACES, Adverse Childhood Experiences. Among them are experiences of having to move a lot, being homeless. That's a familiar topic today. People who have a parent that's away from the family, either through incarceration or other reasons. So many dislocations. How can we find, and this is the challenge, and I want to pose it to you, to use the great imaginative powers, the talents that you have in county government. How do we find these families that need support? How do we find the children, the young people, very little? They may be suffering quite a lot, even if they're not falling into the criminal justice system. And that's where our investment should be, and that's another source, along with housing, for why we need so much more resources.
Next speaker, please.
George Bazzetti again. This is just a shame, this whole thing. You guys are the full swamp. You're Trumpsters in disguise, okay? You're running a totally fraudulent game here. I've come to you. I got your stuff here, okay, where you're breaking all your own rules. This mental health thing is a joke. Do you know what they do in your jails in there? Do you know you have no diabetic food? Do you know that the psych ward is up to 68 from 60 triple bunked? Do you know that you cut out 20 chairs and seats, so 68 guys are fighting for 12 now? Do you know that you put me into that jail when I worked for 6 to 8 years with Baca to fix that filthy mess in that McDonald? Your filthy pig is making it a pig pen with your DA. You're allowing your DA to falsely prosecute thousands of people with misdemeanors, illegal since 1950 in Section 271. What are you people doing? I got 3 minutes altogether here on 3 issues, dudes. Get your time together. You can't even run your clock worth anything.
Just a second, sir.
Huh?
I think you allocated 1 minute to this yourself.
I have 3 issues with 1 minute each. Can you guys pay attention to any business? I thought you called me the avatar. That means I should know something, doesn't it? After all, aren't I the one that shut down your filthy jail project and then you passed exactly what you said you wouldn't do? With Jackie Lacey backing me up while she's illegally prosecuting me?
At the time that you signed up for it, if you want...
I signed up on 3 issues you noticed here for 1 minute each. I was very specific with them right there. You can't keep track of nothing, so I'll walk away. No problem.
Thank you.
You're a criminal organization. You're not going to be welcome when the Fed's coming up you.
Next speaker, please.
Because I got you hard.
Soldier on.
I do, and you know it.
I'm speaking to my speaker.
You're speaking to me and you know it. Play your game somewhere else.
Next speaker, please. Welcome back.
Filthy pigs. Hard to follow.
In as much as the schools, and as much as the schools, they've turned them into government agencies, according to the people, where the kids can't study because of the pressure of being at school and not being with their real parents and families. And that boils down to what is called foster care. And it's alleged that mostly Hispanic and black children are being taken, families are being separated, and the children are going crazy and insane. So they're giving them drugs. And then you want them to be in school to learn something, and most of them are dropping out and becoming homeless. We need to do something better than what we're doing. We need to treat everyone in this country the same, or we need to stop lying to the world. We put signs up here and say this country is founded on a free enterprise to cherish and help and preserve it. And we say that the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, should not perish from the earth. So we can't be prejudiced and say, I'm living in my car, I'm 67 years old, I can't get help from anywhere, but yet there are Hispanic people and Caucasians and everybody being helped, living in a gutter, living out on their own somewhere else with thousands of people. So I'm keeping the peace in the place called Leimert Park, sleeping in my car. I'm keeping the peace. I'm keeping people from thinking, burn the world down, then we won't have one. I don't want to be born in a world where there's no crying, no dying, no sorrow, and no pain. That means we're nothing.
Thank you. Let me remind the speakers in this section that this is items on the agenda for which they signed up to speak. This is not general public comment. Next speaker, please.
Yes, hello. My name is Dorothy Moore from Redondo Beach. I'm commenting on item 3, SB 10, the letter of support. I represent Indivisible Beach Cities, South Bay Cares, and Indivisible South Bay, 70, 1,500, and 400 members respectively. And we all strongly support SB 10 and bail bond reform in general.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. We continued that for 2 weeks, but we're happy to hear your testimony today, so long as you're here. Just wanted to let you know there won't be a vote on that item today, because we heard there were a bunch of other amendments we hadn't heard about, so we put it off for 2 weeks. Can you back up her time a little bit? I'm sorry. Just wanted to make sure you knew. So please go ahead.
We generally just support your efforts at a letter and your previous efforts in March of 2017. I'm also speaking on item number 6, the junior lifeguard competitions, asking for a waiver. In my opinion, I'm from that area. Most of those people are moneyed. It's an affluent area. If it's just a parking fee for a competition, we'll lessen it by a couple bucks, make them feel good, but that's $22,000 that could be better spent on mental health, homelessness, etc. On item number 5, the Redondo Beach Triathlon, that's a minuscule amount of money. They give to charity every year. It is truly a mom-and-pop operation, and what they're asking for is like $2,000. He's a middle school teacher raising 4 kids. He is not making a profit. I favor that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Hi, I'm Dito Ted Hayes again. I'm sorry I came back. I had to rush out. I didn't mean to shout when you were speaking. My apologies. I just want to say that even though I recognize the mistakes I've made and so forth to my demonstration protest, that doesn't mean that I will not continue demonstrating. They will not be protests, because there's no need to protest. I think we need to demonstrate actions as to what we can actually realistically do about our situations. And the people I want to help you with primarily are the chronic encampment sidewalk homeless people. As you know, back in 1985, I became homeless on purpose and slept on the streets of Skid Row on the sidewalks for 8 years to learn, understand, and feel what this was all about. And I've been able to find some things out. So I just wanted to let you know that. Okay? Thank you very much again, you guys.
Thank you, sir.